One night, Sarah Vargas was filming herself in her bathroom mirror when she started hearing strange noises from the apartment next door. The sounds kept getting louder and more worrying, and she kept recording, not knowing she would capture something truly out of the ordinary. As night fell, frightening screams broke the peace in the neighborhood. Sarah realized something serious was happening in the apartment next to hers. The police arrived while neighbors gathered in the street, thinking they were dealing with a fight between residents. But this idea quickly changed when one of the officers, now inside the apartment, called out through the window, asking if anyone could lend them a rosary.
Siguieron, obviamente, como que llamaron a alguien, llamaron a una monja para que les ayudara.
They later discovered that two young women had been using a Ouija board. During their session, one of them started behaving very strangely, as if something evil had taken control of her.
Chica empezó como a vomitar tierra, como vomitar oscuro.
Witnesses reported that she began throwing up a dark substance that looked like dirt. The police could only confirm what they had seen and concluded that something supernatural appeared to be affecting the young woman. According to Sarah, the disturbing screams continued throughout the night before finally coming to an end. The events left both the people living nearby and the local police deeply troubled. The case was documented as what appeared to be an exorcism taking place, as they couldn't find any normal explanation for what they had witnessed. During a routine night patrol, a night officer was stationed at an abandoned hospital undergoing renovations. The facility had a concerning history of unexplained events, which prompted management to maintain security presence despite the closure. What transpired during his shift would leave a lasting impression. While conducting his rounds through the darkened corridors, the officer began hearing distinct crying sounds echoing through the empty building. As he investigated the source of these unsettling noises, his equipment captured something unexpected. Given that the officer had confirmed he was alone in the building and all entry points were secured, the presence of this shadow raised serious questions. The evidence he gathered that night suggested something beyond ordinary explanation. His footage showed a distinct dark shape moving through the hallway, though there was no apparent source for such a manifestation. The officer's documentation of the event, including time-stamped recordings and his written report, provided compelling evidence that something unusual had occurred in the vacant hospital. Was it a paranormal incident, perhaps? The hospital security team shared footage of something unsettling. After a young patient had died earlier that day, their cameras picked up what looked like the shadow of a small boy. The strange part was that this shadow appeared next to the bed of another boy who was just recovering from surgery. The security recording shows this dark figure standing still by the recovering patient's bed. What makes this even more concerning is hospital staff walking through this eerie shadow. The fact that this happened right after another child had passed away in the hospital raised questions about whether this could have been some kind of visit from beyond. After patrolling an empty warehouse for the last couple of nights, this man who was working night security had the feeling that something had followed him home. He was living alone and had been experiencing strange events, leading him to document everything. At 4 a.m., while doing tasks at home, he started hearing sounds from the basement.
Alright, so that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Just me. Ain't the first time I heard this shit either.
It seemed like someone or something was knocking insistently on the basement door. The man decided to avoid the door, thinking it best to ignore whatever unknown thing was there. But the strange activity came back, this time in another part of the house.
That wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while, I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I hear the shit every night. Okay, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this here. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least.
The man showed there was no one in the bathroom, but what's creepy is that while he was inside, the shower curtain moved right after he turned to leave. But this wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. Two nights later, something else happened.
You guys are in luck. You wanted it, right? There it is. Ain't me knocking on. Ain't nobody down here, right? I can hear it. Now, you guys are gonna say, oh, it's somebody in there. It's an animal. Nope. Let's go. So who's down here? Nobody. Nobody down here? Nobody downstairs?
Once again, it started with a really odd noise. The basement was empty, but just as he stopped on the stairs, footsteps could be heard. Pretty eerie. He still had no idea what could have caused this. Many believe a strange presence might be trapped in the house, feeding off this man's emotional and psychic energy. Maybe an evil entity had attached itself to him on his nightly shifts. Let's hope that he figures out a way to deal with that in the future. Late one night, a security guard was wrapping up his shift at the UPS parking lot, where his duties included checking the parked delivery trucks. Other employees had reported unsettling experiences there, seeing strange shadows and hearing odd sounds, like someone following behind them. The guard, aware of these stories, had started recording his rounds just in case anything unusual happened. During one of his final checks that night, something unexplainable occurred.
Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, these UPS trucks are they're like ghosts, man. You can't trust these things. You gotta be careful, because every time I'm at this place, I freaking hear a bunch of weird, crazy noises. Stuff be opening by itself. So yeah, it's time to go. Y'all think I'll be playing, bro? This will be crazy.
Just seconds after he'd locked up one of the trucks, its inside door suddenly opened on its own. The guard insisted he had secured that door completely, making it impossible for it to open by itself. What made things even more disturbing was that as he moved away from the truck, strange noises began coming from inside the empty vehicle.
Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, these UPS trucks are they're like ghosts, man. You can't trust these things. You gotta be careful, because every time I'm at this place, I freaking hear a bunch of weird, crazy noises. Stuff be opening by itself. So yeah, it's time to go. Y'all think I'll be playing, bro? This will be crazy.
The incident raises an unsettling question. Was this actual evidence of something supernatural in the parking lot? Or was this an elaborate prank being played on the security guard? A night security officer at an old hospital shared this concerning incident. While guarding the entrance, she started hearing unsettling voices echoing through the empty hallways. She felt an unexplained presence around her during her shift. Then something strange happened.
Esto lo voy a dejar registrado porque son 16 de diciembre, 11 de la noche. Bueno, mira, esta wea está pasando hace mucho rato. Y yo acá estoy sola, weón. No hay nadie. Concha tu padre.
Her footage shows a wheelchair moving by itself along the corridor. The officer had confirmed she was alone on that floor, and all windows were closed at the time. The security footage hasn't been tampered with according to the timestamps, but whether this was truly paranormal activity, or if there's another explanation, remains unclear. Now let's look at two night officers who got hired to keep watch over an abandoned hospital for the next few months. While working their shifts, they ran into some weird noises in the middle of the night, and they heard other guards talking about seeing shadows moving around in there before. Things got really strange when they started checking out different areas of the hospital, and that's when they both began recording everything.
女の人の声とかめっちゃ聞こえるから、本当ここは相性悪いんだろうなって え、今。いや、待って。ごめん、すいません、なんか全然喋ることが思い浮かばない。
One of the guards heard footsteps coming from one of the empty rooms, so he rushed over to check who was there. But he found nobody around. The weird thing is, during the exact moment when the guard was in that room hearing those footsteps, you can clearly see someone walking up the stairs on the left side. When they looked at the footage more closely, they found something even more chilling. While the guard was patrolling the second floor, he suddenly started hearing a woman's voice. Right after that, he heard this really creepy laugh, which scared him so much he ran straight out of the building. When you look at the regular footage without enhancing it, it's hard to see clearly, but there's definitely some strange figure standing in the background. This figure wasn't moving at all. You can definitely tell that someone or something was there with them that night. The big question is, was it the same one they spotted on the stairs just before? Or could these have been spirits making themselves known? This next clip comes from a different night guard who was working at another abandoned hospital. He had just started his job there, since the building was going to be torn down in a few weeks. During his shift, he caught something strange on camera.
なんかいる感じするもんね。ガラスのとこになんか白い影みたいな見えないです、あれ。なんだろう。何したんかよ。さあ行ってみたい。あっ。
What you're seeing is a wheelchair moving all by itself, which definitely isn't normal. Some people think a ghost, or maybe the spirit of someone who used to be a patient, might have been pushing it. Could this really be possible? Ricardo Orella shared a story about one of his female colleagues who works as a security guard in Ecuador. According to him, this hospital has been the site of many unexplained events over the years. While this guard was having a conversation with another hospital employee, she happened to record something really strange.
La acomodó.
Even now, they still can't figure out what might have caused what they caught on camera. While working his shift at an old Mexican hospital, a security guard spotted something strange moving through the halls. He managed to record the mysterious dark figure as it slipped into one of the rooms. What happened next left him shocked. The figure simply vanished without a trace. After searching the entire building, they couldn't find anyone who could explain what he saw. Some people think he might have caught a real shadow creature on camera, but what do you think? This was captured by an officer one night who was taking a local highway. He didn't notice anything out of the ordinary up until this point, but when the incident occurred, he saw a dark flickering object just standing in the middle of the road. An object that had human-like features based on his reports, and it becomes quite apparent that even the other drivers saw it too. It is not that easy to make out, but you can actually see the outlines of a shadow person that just appears on the road, and the cars are doing their best to avoid impact, making them swivel quite a bit, especially the car on the left. What's weird is that the cars in front don't seem to react all that much. Maybe that's because this thing appears right after the cars in the front have passed it. The driver says that he did not see anything up until he was about to hit this thing, making him believe that it could have been an actual spirit that manifested. Could this be so? How else could anybody end up on the middle of the road like that? Strange. The following recording was captured by traffic camera in Wessex, Britain, on which a pretty unusual creature was supposedly captured. It's not uncommon for the authorities to capture some wildlife every so often. Today's video, though, was a bit different. We can see a busy road, and then a weird creature appearing from the left side out of the darkness and scampering over all 4 lanes of the highway within a few seconds. What's weird about this incident is the creature's legs that are bending inwards, making many believe that we are dealing with a rather inexplicable creature here. Some say that it even looks a little bit humanoid, causing some to believe that we are dealing with another shapeshifter here. Could this be? It's really hard to say what's going on for sure, but it makes one wonder. Now we'll check back in with Simon Lockhart, who works the night shift as a night officer in an aging office building. Since he started working there, he's run into some seriously scary situations.
This office building is just too creepy. I can't. Especially being here alone. Oh my god.
Oh, that was pretty loud.
Oh my god. Holy sh**. Okay.
It's dark.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Oh. I can't be in this building anymore, bro. I can't be in this building anymore.
Look.
that TV dinner that I had earlier was absolutely garbage. Like, breathing in my mask just makes it worse.
Coffee breath.
God, how many computers do you have back here? Jeez. Look at that, more computers. Look at all these laptops. Oh. No. Bro. What in the hell was that? There's no one in here. Oh my god. That gave me a heart attack. What the? No. I'm up here, dude. Right now, what is that? What is that? It looks like a woman wearing a black dress. Oh. And it's right outside. What is that? There's nothing there. And all the lights in the parking lot mysteriously shut off. That there's nothing out there. There's nothing should be out there. I'm freaking out right now.
He never found out what this mysterious shape was. The following video was recorded by Brian Barranco, who states that in this video we see him and a couple of team members making it into a supposedly haunted hospital. A lot of strange things have been seen in there in the past, even after the hospital had shut down recently, and the group made one big mistake, performing a ritual to contact the spirit world.
Uy, me movieron esa silla. Sí. Entonces, ¿quieres que yo me vaya? Voy a filmar la silla porque van a decir que es hilos, ¿no? Gonorrea. Se me puso la piel de gallina parica. Escucho sillas de ruedas. ¿Eres un hombre? Marica, la luz. ¡Ay! ¡Mire la luz allá, huevón! Momentico. Apagaron la luz. Voy para allá. Uy, mi madre. Ay, jue puta. ¿Y eso dónde sale?
Todo está bien, están escuchando ruidos también acá abajo.
And this is already pretty scary, experiencing paranormal activity when you're all alone. The other members were on lower floors at the time, but after Brian had put his equipment down for another minute, he caught something even more creepy.
Está completamente abandonado, como le digo, allá en esa ala no hay luz, no hay luz.
Me acaban de cerrar una puerta. Voy a entrar a la puerta que me cerraron. No me... Uy. ¡Jueputa! 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 Oscar.
¿Qué pasó?
Marica, había un niño, huevón.
¡Jueputa!
Now, did they capture the spirit of a child? The following is a CCTV recording, which was supposedly also captured in this hospital. This was a few weeks before the place shut down, and security was still patrolling regularly. So, do we have to assume that the CCTV camera had also captured some ghostly activity? What exactly are we seeing here? Mysterious. The following clip was uploaded to Reddit by user Heron to the paranormal video subreddit. About it, he wrote, "My father used to work as a security guard in a building, night shift, and repeatedly during the early morning he would send me these videos. We never had the slightest idea what it could be, but if you ask me, I would say that it's a woman." In the video, a white shadowy shape is seen floating or standing in the hallway. However, commenters noticed the strange way the figure seems to be swaying, as though it is turning or looking around the room in a very human way. The original uploader mentioned that this was not the first time unexplained things happened in this building. Perhaps it truly is haunted by this womanly figure. What are your thoughts on this? The man in the following recording states that he was patrolling the floors of an empty hospital at the time, and nobody should have been there besides him. For whatever reason, the man captured someone though, and didn't realize it before watching the footage at home. It looks as if a tall shadow figure is stepping out of one of the patient rooms and then seems to have mysteriously retreated once the young man takes another look at the corridor. Strange, of course, this could have also just been one of his friends, who can say? Or perhaps something from another realm? This is another nightly security encounter captured by a young man who was patrolling the upper levels in his local hospital. He wasn't a believer in the paranormal at all, and apparently had captured this encounter purely by chance. What caused all of this? He heard some unexplained noises from the empty wing of the upper floors, and this was when the recording started.
Alright guys, I'm at the empty floors. I was hearing some noise coming up right now. It's kind of freaking me out, so I'm gonna be filming a little bit. Seeing some.
We see a strange shadow figure standing behind one of the chairs right in front of the window, and the young man didn't know if he actually saw this thing at the time, or if it was just a trick of the eye. Pretty eerie, isn't it? But then there was another shadow seen at the end of the hallway that went completely unnoticed. Is it safe to say that ghosts are roaming this empty wing? The following clip is part of another video that the uploader could unfortunately not retrieve. He states that he saw a small shape enter through the entrance door, which sent an alert to his phone, and then it was seen running through his bedroom. He thought at first it was a child. However, it was of course impossible for anybody to enter the house without opening a door, which is why he believes that something paranormal was captured here. This was shared by a family of a police officer who states that they saw a horrible figure stumbling through their driveway, and after checking, they couldn't find anybody there.
You see his face clearly, right there.
So, do you think this was just a confused person? Maybe somebody homeless? Or was it indeed something more inexplicable? If you found this video creepy, check out the following one.